Welcome back, Yorgies. We are going to start on our backs today. So if you have them at home, make sure you can grab 2 blocks. You can still do the practice without the blocks. But if you've got blocks, let's bring 2 of them with us. Let's come onto our spine. You're going to lift up your hips and then take both of those blocks and set them underneath your low back. So traditionally, we just use 1 block for a supported bridge, but today we're going to use 2 just so it makes like 1 extra long block. So whatever your height is, Val's going to go up to the medium setting. Beginners at home, maybe take it all the way down to that lowest level. And then once you arrive on your supported bridge pose, you are going to walk your legs out long and just let those hips creep up into the air. And we'll take 3 deep breaths. So come to an exhale and then take a really big breath into your belly. Maybe hold at the top of the inhale and then let it all go. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So all the air comes out. Take a really big breath in, fill up your belly, and exhale everything out. Last time, maybe you can sip in another 2 seconds of air as you breathe, and then exhale, everything comes out. Gonna hug the right knee into the chest, and then point through the left toes, and just start to pull that right knee in. So again, if you don't have the blocks, you can definitely still do this. With the blocks, you're going to really feel it in that left hip. So let's take the right knee all the way over to the left for a twist. You can kind of lean onto that left hip if you still have the block underneath the hip right there for you to have some support. So both arms can open up like wings, or maybe the left hand stays on the right knee. Let's take 1 more breath and use your exhale to come back to that long leg bridge pose. So we'll set the right leg out long and then hug the left knee in. Big squeeze, and then bringing ourselves into our twist, left knee over to the right. Left arm can open up, right hand can stay on the knee, or the arm can open up as well. Take another breath and use your exhale to come back onto the spine. You're going to bring the feet under the knees and then lift the hips up, remove your blocks, roll down, and give your legs a little hug here. Awesome. All right, so the feet are going to come back under the knees, and you're going to take one of your blocks in between your knees just for alignment purposes. Start to lift up your hips, squeeze that block as you lift. So this is just a regular old bridge pose. We're going to take an inhale, lift the arms overhead, and on your exhale, hips and hands come down to the ground. So we'll do that 3 more times. Keep squeezing your block as you lift, helping you squeeze your booty, helping you activate your core. Awesome. And this last time we're going to hold. So lift up those hips, push the backs of the hands into the ground. Let's take a big breath in, try to lift the hips a little higher. And then exhale, roll down, block will come out. And left foot will go to the mat, right leg will shoot up nice and high. Yeah, so grab around the calf or maybe the hamstring and just start to open up through that hammy. You can pulse the leg a little closer to you. Okay, we'll take 1 more breath here. And we're going to work some V-sits. So if you want to, the left foot can stay on the ground, or you can bring the leg out long like Val had it. That's just going to make it a little harder. So let go of your right leg. Hands are going to come down by your hips, palms up. Take a deep breath in and use your exhale to sit onto your booty. Keep that right leg lifted. Arms lift up overhead. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lay down. And we'll go through this 2 more times. Big inhale. Exhale lifts you up. Inhale to lie down. And exhale, lift and hold. Lift that right leg up a little higher. Take 1 more breath. And then both legs out, boat pose. You're going to lift the arms, balance on those sitting bones, and just take 1 full inhale. Grab your knees and roll down as you exhale. Awesome. Let's take another breath when you arrive. And maybe the right foot will come to the mat, or you can lengthen it if you did before. And just start to bring those pulses into the left leg. Feeling it through the hammy, maybe rolling your ankle a couple times. And we'll get ready for our V-sits. So you're going to let go of the leg, palms up, deep breath in. Exhale, sit up, pull that left leg up. Inhale, lie down, and you got it. Exhale will sit you up. 1 more round together. And we're going to hold. See if you can lift that knee a little higher. Take a breath. And then boat pose. Both legs shoot out. 1 big inhale. Grab onto your hamstrings. We're going to rock and roll the length of our spine, maybe 2 or 3 times, but you're going to stand into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Get a little momentum. And then grab your elbows and let's just kind of ragdoll it out here. Hang loose, low back starting to release. And you can sway side to side if that feels good for you. If the arms are a little tight, fingers can drop towards the floor. And at the end of your next exhale, we're going to release the arms and halfway lift on an inhale. Crown of the head pulls towards the wall in front of you. Exhale to fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. We'll rise all the way up. Arms will circle sweep overhead. Hands can come to the heart. Close your eyes. And let's just roll our shoulders a couple times here. Roll them up and then back. Yeah, and then let's take a deep breath when you're ready. Reach the arms up, lateral stretch to the right. The right hand can come down. There's a few things you can do here. Some people like prayer hands. And when you're ready to inhale, lift up through center and find your lateral stretch on the left side, whatever variation works for you. We'll take a breath in, reach the arms up, and exhale to forward fold. Bring it all the way to the ground. Inhale to halfway lift. And plant your hands, step it back 1 foot at a time. Plank pose, we'll hold here. Push into the hands, hug the navel towards the spine, and then lift your low back up towards your upper back. There we go. Deep breath in. Exhale all the way down to the bottom of your push-up. You're going to lift your heart, maybe straighten through the elbows. And curl your toes under. We will find down dog. So down dog for the first 3 breaths here. Really trying to spike the tailbone up towards the sky. It is totally okay if you have a bend in your knees. You want to tune into the hamstrings. If they feel a nice little stretch here, maybe you can deepen the stretch. Curl the tailbone up, push the heart back. And we're going to drop the knees. Cat-cow. So as you work your cat-cow, just make sure the hands stay under the shoulders and the knees stay right under the hips. And do your best to keep the arms nice and lengthened. Dropping your belly on your inhale. And rounding your spine on your exhale. One more round. The next time you round your spine, let's pick those knees up off the mat and find a quick little bear pose. Awesome. Hovering the knees for 3, for 2, and 1. Back to your table. We will set the right leg out behind us, lifting it into the air, left arm forward, taking 3 sunbirds. Inhale to lift up and exhale to crunch. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, round the spine. Last time, lift it and crunch. Let's hold here for 3, for 2, and 1. Taking a little teardrop shape. Kick that right foot up into the air and then reach for your ankle with your left hand. Maybe you can kick the foot towards the ceiling. Yeah, for 3, for 2, and 1. Left foot down. Bring that right foot up to the top right corner of your mat. We're going crooked monkey, so make sure the toes kind of splay out at an angle. And then bring your right hand to your knee and give it a push away from you. Looking over your right shoulder. Trying to keep the heart open. Wrap that right shoulder behind you. And optional, if you want to bend that left knee, grab the left foot with the right hand. And then try to keep your big toe mound on the floor of that right foot. Take a big inhale, and then we're going to bring that left foot down, Skandasana to the front of the mat. So you're going to kind of shift your toes to the left edge of your mat, bend into that right knee as deeply as you can, and then find some length in the spine. So lift up your heart a little bit. You can use hands to heart or always fingers on the floor helping you out. Let's take one more big breath, and we'll move to the back of the mat, Skandasana. So use your fingers to help crawl you there if you need it. Lifting up the right toes this time. One more big breath. Wide leg forward fold on your exhale. So bring all the toes in line with each other and try to rock the heels a little bit outward and the toes a little bit inward. And you might notice that the arches of your feet start to lift. Maybe your knees, your kneecaps can lift. Yeah, quads activated. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Use your breath as your guide. Literally listen to the sound of it and let that tell you when it's time to move again. So when you have a new inhale, you're going to halfway lift and then crawl your fingers towards the head of the mat. We'll drop the left knee down and take a half split. So right toes are going to peel up towards the ceiling. And think about your right hip. You want to pull that right hip behind you as if you were kind of meeting it to the wall behind you. And we're going to take one more breath and use the exhale to come into our vinyasa. So bend that right knee, plant your hands, plank pose to the bottom of your push-up, back bend to your down dog. Let's pedal out our legs a couple of rounds here. And again, listening to the sound of our breath. All right, so maybe you bend and straighten with your inhales and exhales. You can wag your tail a couple of beats here. And we're going to take 2 more rounds of breath before we find our tabletop. So when you're ready, the knees drop. Let's take 2 cat-cows, belly down, heart up. Exhale, round the spine. One more time, cow pose. Bring the belly down, lift the tail and the heart, and exhale, round the spine. Tail and heart come towards each other. We'll find a neutral back, kick that left leg out long, right arm swoops forward, lift the limbs, and then exhale, round, crunch. Inhale, kick it out, and exhale, round it. Last time, on your own. We're going to hold this one for 3, for 2, and 1. We're bringing that diamond shape into the left leg. So reach back with your right hand, see if you can grab that quad stretch. Really kick that foot nice and high. Grounding into the left hand. When you're ready to exhale, right hand down. Swoop that left foot to the top left corner of your mat. Crooked monkey, so the toes will come out at a little angle. Push your knee away. And it's a twist, so you're looking over your back shoulder, maybe grabbing for that right foot with the left hand. Keeping the collarbones open. See how Val's left shoulder is really pulling to the wall behind her. And we'll take 1 more breath with that quad stretch and start to let go of the foot. We're spinning the toes towards the right edge of your mat for Skandasana. So staying bent in that left knee, maybe lifting up the right toes and trying to find some length in your spine. Crown of the head will pull forward. And you can use your fingers. We're going to transition to side 2, walking into that right knee now. Left toes will lift. And just tune into what you feel on that left inner thigh. And take another big inhale. Use your exhale to drop the feet down, wide leg forward fold. All the toes will face the same direction. All right, big toes will kind of come in towards each other. And for this one, let's grab the edges of our feet. Let's inhale. Maybe on your exhale, you can pull your gaze underneath your legs. Let's take 1 more big breath. Exhale the hands back under the face, and we'll inhale to halfway lift, walking towards those left toes, coming into a low lunge, right knee down. Half splits is where we're headed, so the left leg is going to lengthen. You might still have a little bend in the knee. That's okay. Keeps your hamstring nice and loose. Pull those toes back, though, if you can. And we'll take 1 more breath. Exhale will bring us into our lunge. Lift up that right knee and let's vinyasa. We'll move through our flow and into a child's pose. So use your child's pose to smooth out your breath, but also if there's any little adjustments you need to make. Sometimes people like to shift their clothing or take a drink of water, so this is your time for that. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Do your best to stay focused on what you came to your mat for, whatever your intention is with this practice. And when you're ready, we're going to come into a down dog. So we'll pedal our legs out. And keep pressing that chest back towards your legs. Nice long arms. Lifting the right leg on an inhale. And taking that foot all the way in between the hands. Wide leg forward fold. All the toes will spin towards the left edge of the mat. And we've been here before, so let's change it up a little bit. Let's halfway lift and get some length in that spine. And as you exhale, the hands are going to walk so far behind you, as far as they can go. Yeah, fingertips will face away from you. Crown of the head pulling towards the floor. Big, big inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back under the face. We're going to turn the heels in and the toes out for our goddess pose here. So we'll bring the arms into the same goddess shape. You can cactus at the elbows. Lift the chest. So we'll bring the arms into the same goddess shape. We'll cactus at the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And all the way to the back of the mat, we're finding side angle. So you're going to lengthen that right leg a little further towards the top of the mat. Drop your left hand down towards your ankle or maybe put your elbow on your knee. And then for one more breath, really lengthen the arms and start to shift over that left leg. Back of your mat, we're going to go low lunge, finding crooked monkey again. So left foot will kind of walk out at an angle. You can push that left knee away. Awesome. Let's take one more really big inhale. And then lift that left arm up, curl your right toes under, and lift your knee for a revolved side angle. Big inhale. Exhale, exalted warrior. You're going to reach back with that left hand and grab your right leg. Yeah, right arm's going to reach up. So you're kind of twisted up here still. See if you can bend that front knee a little bit more and reach back. All right, let's cartwheel to the front of the mat, all the way forward. Hands come around the right foot. And we're going to come into a side plank. So you can use your right hand, or your left hand rather, as your foundation. You're going to roll to the left edge of the foot. Reach the right leg up if you want to. Optional wild thing, sticking the toes behind the left leg, reaching the hips up. And we'll move through our vinyasa. You can flip it over. And always your vinyasas are optional. So if you ever feel a little out of breath, you can skip these and just go right into your down dog. So let's take a nice big inhale. Open up your mouth and just sigh it out. Big exhale out. Left leg will lift up. Exhale the foot in between the hands. Wide leg forward fold. Spin all those toes to the right edge. And here we're going to actually walk the hands forward like down dog arms. So if you have the space, try to get nice and long in those arms. Press the chest back towards your legs. And then try to roll onto the very, very pinky toe edges of the feet. Awesome. We'll take 2 more breaths. Notice where your mind is and see if you can bring it back into your practice. Hands walk back under the face, halfway lifting. And we'll find our goddess. Toes will splay out, heels in. Bend your knees and sink it nice and low. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And again, we're finding side angle at the back of the mat. So start to bend over that right leg, and you want your left foot to kind of walk out. It's parallel with the back edge of your mat. Inhale to reach the arms away from each other. And as you exhale, we're going to spin to the very back of the mat, drop that left knee down, and find our crooked monkey again. Right hand will push the knee away. Look over your shoulder. And then lifting that right arm. And curling the left toes under to lift the knee, we'll find revolved lunge here. Take a really big inhale and use your exhale to find your exalted warrior. The right hand will reach back for the left leg. Left arm will reach up. Maybe you can look up, take a breath. And we're going to cartwheel to the front of the mat. All the toes spin. Bring the hands around that left foot. Let's find our side plank. You're going to plant your right hand, roll to the edge of the right foot. Maybe lift that left leg up and back behind you for a little wild thing if you have the space. Awesome. Flipping over, let's move through our vinyasa. We'll land in our downward facing dog. All right, big breath in, big open mouth exhale, let everything go. Right leg will lift again. Step in between your hands. And lift up your right arm, revolved lunge, taking that twist again. All right, so we're going to get a little funky here. Look down in between your hand and foot and start to move your foot out right and your hand out to the left. You're going to kick that left foot through that hole that you've created and maybe grab onto your toes. Awesome. Okay, so slowly we're going to kick back out the way we came and find half moon. Right hand down. You're going to lift that left leg up. If you feel pretty stable, you can peel the left arm up to the ceiling and then flex through those left toes, kick through the leg for 3. Warrior 2 in 2. And 1, drop it down. Find your warrior 2, bend that right knee. But let's add a little something. Lift your heel, bend the knee a little deeper, flip your right hand up and reverse that warrior on an exhale. High five the back wall. Put your heel down and let's find goddess again. You're going to spin the left heel in, squat it nice and low. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, you might deepen like an inch. Awesome. Let's straighten the legs. We're going to find triangle to the back of the mat. So the left toes will spin out. You're going to reach forward towards that left leg. And eventually the left hand either comes down towards the shin or the ankle. Right arm is reaching away from you. And we're going to extend that right arm overhead and start to find a revolved pyramid. So spin those right toes to kind of come up towards the back of your mat. Right fingertips down, maybe on a block, left arm up. Take a nice big inhale, try to open the chest a little more. And we'll start to find a revolved half moon. So the right fingers will walk about 12 inches diagonal from that left big toe. Lift up your right leg. And then see if you can flex those toes. Lift from the inner thigh. Take a big breath in. And exhale, stand on that left leg. Bring your right knee with you. We're coming into figure 4. You're going to stack that right ankle over the left knee and sit. So maybe you don't sit deep, or maybe you've got your booty parallel with the ground. Wherever you are, try to lift your heart towards your thumbs. Take an inhale. And then take a big step back with that right foot. You're in crescent lunge, left knee forward, raise your arms overhead. And we'll move through star pose. Spin all those toes forward and find a runner's lunge at the head of your mat. So right knee will bend, hands down. You're going to plant your hands all the way into the mat and bring your right knee into your chest. So we're going to find a fallen star here. You're going to kick the left side of the room with your right foot. And the option here is to either lift that left arm up or grab the edge of your foot with your left hand and lift. Now you might bring that foot and arm closer to the top of your mat for a little side plank splits here. Let's take one more big breath. And then we'll find a pigeon. Bring that right knee behind the right hand. Walk your left leg back and start to crawl forward towards that right leg. You can always stay lifted on blocks or maybe your elbows. And in your pigeon, just think about pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward, maybe pushing the left hip towards the ground. And just notice where your mind is right now. If you can try to bring it back onto your mat, scan your body. Notice where you're holding tension in this posture. We'll take one more big breath in together. As you exhale, hands can walk under the shoulders. And we'll come into a three-legged dog. So lift that right leg up and give it a couple little kicks. We're going to keep it lifted and roll into our plank pose. One leg vinyasa if you'd like to. Move through your chaturanga and into your down dog. All right, so left leg is going to lift up nice and high. Step in between your hands. Left hand will lift up, twist, revolved lunge. All right, so we'll come in for that funky move again. Look down in between your hand and foot. Move them out to the edges of the mat. Kick that right foot through. Grab on with your left hand. Hover your booty above the ground. And then we'll send that right leg back. Left hand will plant down. Half moon. Once you feel stable, you can lift that right arm. So kicking really firmly through that right foot. Lifting from the inner thigh. One more breath in. Exhale to your warrior 2. Step down, bend that left knee. Arms are nice and long. Gaze over your left middle fingers and then lift up your heel. Flip your hand and reverse your warrior. Reach back. Big inhale in. Exhale the heel down, goddess pose, spinning both the heels in, the toes out, sinking it nice and low. Hands will come to the knees. Let's take a twist. Right shoulder down. Inhale to center. Left shoulder down. Inhale to center. And let's rise into star pose. We're going to create triangle at the back of the mat. So flip those right toes out and then reach towards the back wall. And then down. So we're tick-tocking the arms. Shoulders are stacking one over the other. Extend that left arm overhead. Take a nice big inhale. And start to twist into your pyramid pose. So those back toes are going to spin the same direction as the right. Lift up your right hand. And for extra balance, maybe you keep staring at the right hand while you come into revolved half moon. You can bend your right knee. Left fingers need to come about 12 inches forward in front of that right foot. And this is a twist, you guys. So you're trying to pull your chest in the same direction as that right leg. One more nice big breath in. As you exhale, standing on the right foot, left knee will come up to about hip height, and you'll crisscross ankle over the right knee, sit it down, figure 4. This is also known as standing pigeon. You might feel it in that right hip. Take a nice big inhale. Big step back on your exhale. Crescent lunge. Reach those arms up. And move into your star pose on your exhale. So just reach the arms out nice and wide. And we'll come into runner's lunge over that left knee. Planting the hands, lifting the knee into the chest. Fallen star. So kicking the leg out to the right. And again, that option to reach with the right hand for the edge of the left foot. Pulling the hand and leg towards the head of your mat. We'll come into pigeon on an exhale. Nice. Knee goes behind the wrist. All right, your foot for pigeon might be close to your pelvis, but your knee is going to be close to the left edge of your mat. Dropping that right hip down and maybe tugging back on the left hip a little bit. Try to relax your shoulders away from your ears. And if there's any clenching going on in your jaw, maybe open your mouth, move your tongue around a little bit. We'll take our final round of breath here. When you hit that exhale, try to press all the air out of your lungs. Hands under the shoulders. Let's come into a three-legged down dog. Left leg back. Give it a little kick. And we've got that optional one-leg vinyasa. So come into your plank, move through your flow, and let's meet in child's pose. Bring your knees nice and wide. And pull your shoulders down your back as much as you can. We're going to curl the toes under behind us and find Malasana. So start to walk your hands back towards your knees. You want your heels inward and your toes outward. Heels don't necessarily touch here. There's some space between the feet. You're using your elbows to push your knees away. And we'll come in for some inversion here. So if you have like a headstand or a handstand practice, go for it. I'm going to cue a crow pose. So you're going to reach forward with your arms and then start to lift up your hips. You want to bend your elbows and create a little shelf with your arms. Your knees are going to go on that shelf. Your toes will lift up off the floor. Your gaze is forward. And whenever you're ready, come back into your Malasana. Left arm is going to stay down. Right arm is going to reach open for a twist. Now you can either keep reaching the back of the right hand back, or you can take a half wrap. So reaching the right hand to the small back. If you want a full wrap, go ahead and try to find your fingers with the left hand. Yes, awesome. And when you're exhaling, we're just going to unwind. Same shape on the other side. Right hand will go out. Left arm will reach up. So coming in for whatever bind or arm placement you took before, just see how different this side is from your first side. Take a nice big breath in. And on your exhale, let's let it go. We're going to sit down. Shoot those legs out nice and long. Take a nice big breath in. Okay, guys, so kind of where we started class. That left foot is going to come onto the floor with a bent knee. The right leg is going to shoot up into the air for that V-sit. So you're just hugging the right leg with the core towards your chest. Yeah. All right, so we're going to hold it here. Take a really big inhale and leave your right leg hovering. You're going to shoot the left leg out long against the mat. And then maybe that left hand will grab the pinky toe edge of the right foot, and you'll create that same little long leg shape we did in our fallen star. See if you can reach the right arm back behind you. All right, take one more breath. We're going to come into our half Lord of the Fish. That right foot is going to come over the left knee. You can hug the right knee with the left arm and just keep that twist going, looking behind your right shoulder. Take one more big breath in. And of course, use your exhale to unwind. Right leg will just reach out to meet the left. Going to do the same thing on side two. So if you want to leave your right leg long, you can. The left knee is going to lift up off the floor. The foot is flexed. Take a really big inhale. And with an exhale, shoot that right leg against the mat. Take your right hand to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. And you can use that left hand behind you like a kickstand, or you can reach it out to the back wall. Let's stay here for 3, for 2, and 1. Half Lord of the Fish. Left foot over the right knee. Give that left leg a hug. And then your twist even happens through the eyeball. So try to look out the far corner of your eyes. And let's take one more breath. Exhale is what unwinds you. Grab your knees. Let's do a trust fall to the back of our mat. All right, so hug the knees into the chest. Bring the forehead up to the knees. Big breath in, happy baby on your way down. So forehead, or head rather, will lay down. And then just kind of notice where your hands are. You want them on the outside edges of the feet where the pinky toes are. And you want your elbows on the inside of the knees. And then just feel the support along your spine. Notice where you feel it. And see if you can bring your tailbone closer to the ground. Let's take one more big inhale. As you exhale, we'll come into that yogi ball again. Hug your knees. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, Shavasana. Lengthen those arms and legs out, and you can stay here as long as you would like to. Thank you for practicing with us, yogis. Namaste.